Hello, I'm back.
Hi, Nancy.
Hi.
And hi, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Nancy's back for Dynamic Duo.
I'm so glad to be back, really. I am.
Miss you.
Yeah. I watch and feel serious FOMO.
Well, you were missed. We did some fun, unique things along the way, but was very anxious to have you back this week and create together.
I think Heather was especially kind because she was one of my top favorites for this one.
Yes, this is definitely
She had to pick it on her own, and she's like,
more Nancy than me, but yeah, so she's definitely the expert with this category, and this is Dina Wakley.
Dina rocks.
Yeah,
she
Dina.
really does. She's just got the right attitude towards art and art journaling for all. I just believe it's just should be accessible for everybody, and I agree.
And just to create, right? Just
have fun. Don't
the joy
worry.
in creating. That's what it comes down to, and that's why we create. No rules.
No rules.
No
rules.
No right
It's
or
funny,
wrong.
I was actually looking at one of my journals and I wrote a little note to myself about not worrying about the audience, that this is for me, and I noticed I'm still struggling with that a little bit.
I think we all do, or like, what's the purpose, or what's this good for, whatever. But we just have to remember that's not the goal. Yeah. So.
Let go, and you know what? Sometimes in your books you have some duds, and that's okay too.
Yep.
And you know what I always find is when I go back later, they're never half as bad as I thought.
Yeah, and then you can always come back to it too and build upon it.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, and thank you everybody that's joining us. I see 10 people are already here, so thank you very much. And hello to those of you who will watch on the replay.
Yes.
Yep.
So everything Dina, that's our demo deal.
Yep. 33%
33%.
off today. Yeah, I know.
Oh my word, sorry.
Today and tomorrow too.
Get on that.
Yeah. So that's stamps, stencils, paints, collage papers, transparencies, paint brushes.
Yeah.
We have all the things, Dina.
Bags too?
Oh
my word. And the washi? Oh my word.
Oh
Look.
boy. I better shop before it's all gone.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, so definitely more Nancy's avenue, but I did have some fun creating with it too.
Okay. Yeah. So I can start with a bit of show and tell, I think.
Sure, let's tip the camera down.
Sure.
And then we can do more of
A little close-up look at everything.
yeah, close-up look.
Okay.
Welcome back, Nancy.
Thanks,
Yes.
guys. Yeah, I hear you're having trouble. We got it. We're going to speak up
We'll
a little
speak up
louder.
a little bit louder here. Yes.
Doing our best. We're going to have to figure that out. I have an idea, but I have to work on it. Anyway.
That seems like a good view right there.
All
Excellent.
right.
What have you got, Nancy?
So, bizarrely, for our next Explore, I used Dina.
Wow.
So, Explore July is... No, this is August.
This is August.
Texture paste. So I have these texture pastes in the background, and I made this lovely background, which I am excellent at backgrounds, but sometimes I kind of stall at the focal point. And that's where Dina came in. So I used a number of stamps here, actually.
I played with these stamp sets too.
Did you?
Yes.
So in that, I actually have this one, which has these, which are such great edge.
And tell me, Nancy, what kind of ink do you like to use? What's
My
this?
favorite is the VersaFine.
Okay.
I know lots of people love the Gina K. Julie is a Gina K girl. I'm more VersaFine. The issue with VersaFine is it does take a little longer to dry.
Yes.
So, but once it's down, it's not going to move. But neither is the Gina K, but it doesn't take as long to dry. So I risk smooshing my stuff really quickly.
So now, what about if you want to build upon it? Would you use an archival ink? Or can you still build upon this without it being reactive?
This will not be reactive once dry.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Good for the people to know.
And then I used that one.
I love this one.
Yes.
This is so
And
great
this
for all things and not just, your art journal.
Yeah.
I did play with this one too, and I thought how perfect to use little tags on your scrapbook pages as well. You can punch out this hole. You have tags on your gift bags.
Yep.
This
And they were
is
quick
awesome.
and easy to decorate. Like if you look, I've decorated them all up. I just used random stamping from this
Other
set.
sets onto it and then just cut them out.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. I just layered it up into this little cluster. And of course used her face and
Voila.
ta-da.
Do you
So
want to
that
give
was-
us a little peek into your art journal there? I see a lot of Dina Wakley.
Well, see, the thing that I
products.
discovered really quickly is I may not use her as a feature, but she's incredibly versatile.
Yes.
For example, this one, I mean, this doesn't scream Dina Wakley under any circumstances, but see all of these here?
Love.
Those are stencils from Dina Wakley that I used, and I have a technique that I'm actually going to show a little bit later on how I did that.
Love it.
So
turning
that's
your
super-
stencils into like die cuts.
Pretty much, yeah.
Ephemera. Yeah,
Yeah.
so pretty, Shelly.
Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah. So then I've got this one. Again, there's not a lot of Dina, but she has an alphabet set that was just perfect. So the beautiful thing about the alphabet set is, you know, letters and backgrounds are awesome, but then you can also make your own titles.
Titles for your scrapbook
Right.
pages too.
Right.
Very cool.
So then I had,
That is quite the art journal, man.
Well,
See,
it's yeah.
I am in awe of
Okay.
your art journals.
So Dina has a lot jump off points. So she has her what are called the Collage Collective books. She's got a couple of those. Lately we have these Collage Sparks, which are really amazing because I was looking at these for two reasons. One is, of course, I can just use this right in my book, cut pieces out, layer them up in my book. But then as I looked a little closer, if you actually kind of study them, you actually get a really neat idea on layering and how loosely she layers things and how she likes to put things together. And it can even be a bit of a learning thing. Like you kind of look and you see how she's stenciled in, and then she's got some rough cut paper there. And so it can kind of be a resource at the same time as something that you can cut and drop off, be a dropping off point for more books. I think even if you just bound this little book and started adding things, it would be so sweet.
Good idea.
Right?
Make a mini journal.
Little mini
out of it.
journal. But yeah, this is something, this is obviously Dina, and in Dina's style, very loose, very sketchy, and then she's written across. So then I used my own watercolor pencil and just kind of ran around and made my own marks just to kind of bring in the whole thing, and it came together quite nicely.
Super cool.
I don't think I have a ton more Dina in this book, no. But
But
then,
I think just like the general concept, like the layers, you know, the stencils, the paints, the
Right.
sprays, how it all works so well together to create your layers and build and build and build, right?
I don't remember if people remember this when we did the
Well, let's show
acetate.
it again, yeah.
We did the acetate, so I used the Dina Wakley stencil called Square, not stencil, stamp, and kind of put the faces in on the acetate film strips, and it turned out super cool.
Yeah.
So another idea, again, just using her faces. So she does these quick, loose faces. Certainly, I think if you spent some time, you could probably learn, but I mean, I just love her inspiration.
Yeah.
She's a great starting point, and I don't have to sit there for hours trying to make a face that's going to end up being very wonky in the long run.
Yeah.
Then again here, this had nothing to do with Dina, but this is actually a Dina stencil. So as a layer, I painted it down. So I believe it is, oh, there's Squared. That's the one I was talking about for the acetate.
So when you stamp on acetate, do you use archival?
I use Stays On.
Okay, yes,
I would
that
never,
is
I wouldn't even,
excellent.
yeah. There you go. So it was one of this, something like that. I think she has two that are quite similar, actually. I didn't bring it, but I just, actually this has to be it. Look at the color.
Yep, you can. I think you used that, Nancy.
I think I did. Anyway, so I just used paint and just kind of sponged it down, and then I went over and with pen work, just to pop it, and it became a really cool feature on this page. Again, it doesn't scream Dina, but I just find her stuff so incredibly versatile that, you know, I kind of find her in little bits in my journal.
Yeah. And the add-on.
Yeah, but then last night I thought, well, I gotta play with some more Dina. So I did one more page. Yeah, I'm gonna have an avalanche. Julia's helping me on the side because I'm gonna end up with an avalanche. Should have marked the page so you're getting this one is
That's
one.
cool.
This is the same technique I'm gonna show you using the stencils to create these botanicals.
See, and I see the stamps come into play here
Yeah.
again. The
Yeah.
perforated tag stamp set again.
Great.
Very cool.
That stamp set, you know, it sat around and I looked at it and I looked at it and I was like, I don't know. Now I've used like 3 or 4 times already. Like I'm like, oh, I guess I did need that.
Justified that purchase.
Sure did. Dina, That's her collage paper in the background,
Very cool.
right?
And best way you find to attach the collage paper?
Matte medium.
Not medium. Okay.
Yeah. Dinkles. Please tell me.
Ooh, I see just so much.
There it
goodness
is.
in this book.
So
Notes.
this one is one I did last night. So this used this stamp set. So I had this background done with brayering in my book already. Okay. So I just used, so I had some extra gel prints that I had done and backgrounds that I'd done. So I stamped these guys
on
and
your
that
gel
on a
print,
gel
okay.
print. And this one was another different gel print, but I wanted it to be green. And then once I was done the technique I'm going to show, I added some doodling to kind of pop them, because the way I do it, they kind of go, it's a little flat. So you need to kind of add that dimension back in texture. So that's where the pen work comes in. Then I stamped, this was just some markings, but I thought when I turned it this way, it looked very grassy to me.
Smart.
I know.
Nancy.
I know. And then you are doing a beautiful job and lots of hearts. So yeah, so this is just a background. This is a book I'm working on. I've got backgrounds already kind of done, and then periodically if I feel like working on something a little more, at least I've got a good start.
Good base.
Yeah.
I know this is a very uplifting page. At first it was giving me like Children of the Corn vibes.
That's hilarious.
But now I'm looking at it in a whole different way, Nancy, because it's pretty and it has grass and flowers and hearts. So
That's okay. You need the hearts.
you turned that mood around for me. So
Good job.
This is
Good job,
very
Nancy.
pretty, Nancy.
You know what I might do? What I should do is come back and make that heart red with a gel pen
Yeah,
and color.
maybe.
There's some more coloring that could be done there for sure.
Sorry.
The cord. I love
couldn't
you.
help it. I couldn't help it. But see, the hearts make it not so creepy. Yeah.
Yeah. I hear ya.
Sorry, did I throw you off?
No, but Julia's trying not to laugh on camera. She's
Nancy,
moving
did
along.
you miss me?
Of course I missed you. So what did you get done with
Okay.
Dina?
So I played with, okay, first of all, how pretty are gloss sprays? Okay, I love sprays, and these gloss sprays, these are just a few of the colors. I know Nancy's brought some more too. I did play with some other colors. I love gloss sprays. They're an acrylic spray, and they don't react with each other. They actually dry in layer, which is a really cool aspect of these gloss sprays. So don't forget about these, everybody. Super fun. Even if you're like me and you're not, you know, both feet dive into, jump into mixed media. For backgrounds, card backgrounds, even just some splatter on your scrapbook pages, sprays, and especially these gloss ones, are brilliant.
One thing I would say is to protect your surfaces when you're using gloss sprays.
I use the splat box.
Yeah.
Recommended for
Because
sure.
I actually, when they first came out, I had my phone on a stand in front of me and was just working away, and I got my phone, the stand, myself, the walls, and it doesn't move. This is very different. It's,
Yes.
like you say, it's not water reactive, it's acrylic,
It's done.
and
This
once
one-
it's dry, it's done.
It's dry and it's permanent. I also have gold reflexive paint on my laptop for that reason. Don't spray in front of devices,
Yeah.
pets, other projects.
Pets, at least their hair will grow.
Well, nothing. I recommend a splat box or a big cardboard
Splat
box or
boxes,
something. Just
yeah.
have it specifically for these
The
kind
sprays.
of permanent items. And also, like, how cute. Doesn't everybody just like cute stuff too? Like the little paints.
I went to get my Dina Wakley paints out and realized I took them all to Mexico because of this convenient size.
Did you leave them in Mexico?
I did.
Oh.
I go back enough that I wanted an art supply in my cupboard.
I love them. And they're great, little goes a long ways. They don't take up a ton of space because they are so nice and small.
And I do love
color
these.
variety is
Can I just open
fabulous.
one?
Yes.
Murray Clark has a card.
Ooh, Mari.
Scrapes off a glass mat. Yep.
Yes, I have used the isopropyl alcohol to clear it, try to clean it, but you're right, scraping is generally the only way to get
Generally,
it off.
yeah. And I don't know if you know Dina. She's not the tidiest of.
Oh my, her videos, I get a little, the freaked out. My OCD
Triggered. She's
is
triggered.
But then,
But the other thing about it though is I don't even get as messy as she does, but she kind of makes me feel like I'm a part of her tribe because I can handle that.
I look at it and the hair on the back of my neck stands up.
Yeah.
But then I think, you know what? She's just playing, and who cares? That space is her space.
Yeah.
It's not for looks. It's, you know, it's just
Yeah.
for fun.
Yeah, and I guess Tim razzes her quite hard about her glass mat because it'll get covered with paint.
I wasn't sure it was a glass mat for a while there.
Yeah, it's just a paint mat.
Yeah, it's amazing, but she continues to create on it and just create brilliant masterpieces.
I know.
So, hey, whatever your space looks like,
You betcha.
keep rocking it.
So what I love about these paints is this nozzle. So you can apply
Yes.
with it. You can control how much you put out in a palette. I do love the nozzle, but the nozzle, I mean, it'll pop off if you want to have more, because sometimes more is better.
Sometimes it's just enough, and then you can always dilute it with water as well if you want to thin it out too.
You betcha.
She loves her messy space. Yes, she sure does.
Yeah.
She sure does. Okay, so this was a little out of my wheelhouse. I was looking forward to being a little challenged and trying something I don't use a whole lot. I use a lot of acrylic paints and sprays, but not necessarily all things Dina. So this was really a lot of fun, and to incorporate stamps and stencils, which is obviously a lot of the things that I do work with. So on this one, I just created this, and the biggest thing to remind everybody is if you're not working in like an art journal, is you want to work on a good heavy mixed media cardstock. So
I would agree, yeah.
So any like 100 pound, 110 pound minimum type of thing, just make sure it's going to withstand the paints and the sprays and still hold its shape. So cardstock makes a difference. So here it's just a white. I cut down some super stock into small card front size. I think I'll turn it into a card actually. Did some inking on the back with just putting a bit of paint on my splat mat and then picking it up with a sponge through the stencil. A couple different colors in there. Super easy, dries really fast. And then I did some stamping, and actually I should say I did the stamping first. What is the stamp set called? This one is super fun. I used her face there. Half faces, well that makes sense. Half faces. And then I also used the circles Nancy had used in a lot of her samples. And I embossed everything actually in, I used a black VersaFine ink pad and embossed it in clear because I wanted it to still hold its color and properties with all the layering I was going to do on top. So I did that first. And then I tore a piece of paper to mask off her face. And then I did my stenciling over top. Some bits of collage paper, a little bit of pink paint, the Dina Wakley paint for her lipstick. And then just cut out some sentiments from those collage papers, which are super cool. I think we've got some of those.
I grabbed this one to show.
That one's super fun.
I have one.
Can you see that, Nancy?
This is the type ledgers.
Oh, the type ledgers.
Oh my gosh.
Here.
So I love this because you can cut them into strips and have a nice little sentiment for wherever.
Yeah.
But then everybody wants ledgers for their backgrounds, so it's kind of got a two.
And there's 12 sheets.
There's a ton. Like I bought, I don't know, was there 2 sets of them? And
Yes.
I bought them both, and I still have a ton. Like,
Yeah. So you
so
can use
awesome.
them as is, tear them, or you can use them as backgrounds, or cut them apart for little bits.
Yeah.
I love this.
Absolutely
Really
love
this.
those.
That one. Okay. So that's what I did to create that sample there. Manifest your dreams, realize your worth. Come on.
She's got the best
Oh,
quotes.
if you read her stamp sets and stuff, I love all those quotes. They're very positive, meaningful,
Yeah.
resonate with you type of quotes.
Yeah.
This one, same thing, just a piece of super stock. And for the background on this, I dry brushed the paint. So I just put down a few, few different colors on my splat mat, picked it up with a dry brush and just dry brushed it.
Love it.
And again, dries really fast. Just some more stamping, splattered with the white paint. So when I use the white paint, or you can use the white gloss spray, either or, you can just flick it with your paintbrush, or you can spray directly too.
Yeah.
And this was an embossed sentiment. I used this one as well from Be Bold, and
You
inked it
know-
up a bit. Put it with some foam dots.
Here, let's see if we can improve my Children of the Corn page. I just want to show you this one thing. So this is one of Dina's favorite ways, of using her sprays, which is not at all the way you would expect. So I'm just gonna try Ocean.
So you shake these ones up because
Hear that?
yeah, the little ball is at the
Yeah.
bottom there. And
So Dina actually says she rarely sprays them.
she flicks them more, right?
Yeah.
She flicks them. So
Right.
she would
She'll
actually
also like pour them in her book and like.
pour and smash.
Oh.
Anyway, she'll do this. So she's got,
Okay, you're fixing that.
Yep.
yeah.
The splash zone.
Yes, right. Yeah, watch out.
Watch the splash zone.
And you actually have more control doing it this way too.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's why we always say use a splat box when you're actually spraying, because it can get out of control.
Just a smidge.
Yeah.
But yeah, just a little splatter.
And because they're an acrylic paint with the properties of like that gloss finish, I find too on any kind of a chalky background or like an oxide background or the paper artsy paints, anything like that, they'll actually hold their shape.
Yeah.
Like your splatters.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They're
The little dome of
exactly.
the, yeah.
They're less likely to bleed or blend together,
Which is awesome.
which is awesome. Julie was just saying, Dina Wakley, this is a really cool idea for those willing to try it. Pour some of the gloss spray into your art journal and close the book and have it blend together.
I
and
call
then-
those Rorschach tests. You've ever seen those psych tests where they hold up something and you have to say what it means and they're
Oh.
nothing? That's
What that sounds like.
yeah,
That
that
could be
sounds
a
like to me.
test.
Sandra from Montana says hi.
Oh, hi, Sandra
Hi,
from Montana.
Sandra from Montana.
Now this one, I did this similar idea on the back. I just did a dry brush of this really pretty kind of color with this. I just loved it. Oh, it was this. Oh, guess what? I used heather. I used heather for the background. And I did a dry brush. I just let it dry. Dries really fast. Back here, and then I cut out a piece of this. Well, this really pretty quote too from the collage papers. I used my matte medium on to lay it down and then to seal it back over top. Just a bit of stenciling on this side. And then I cut out one of the transparencies and actually used my matte medium to attach it. I didn't want to lose kind of the color and the paintbrush strokes from the back. So
So these are the transparencies
Yes.
she's talking about.
Very fun. So you can attach them with the matte medium. You can attach them with staples, whatever way you like.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Nancy's got a really cool sample here on another great way to use them.
Okay, so this is actually Julia. She did these.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Right? So these are the transparencies, but if you paint at the back, the outline doesn't get ruined. So you turn over the transparencies and add your color. So in this case, she probably started with the pink and the blue and then layered the flesh tone over that after it dried.
So the front doesn't lose its definition because
Right.
you're applying the paint on the back
Yeah, so you
side.
kind of reverse thinking it through, and then she came up with these amazing things, and that's the transparencies again. So that's these babies.
And there's also a lot in these packages, like tons.
Yeah.
2 each of these designs, and I think we've got maybe 4 to 6 different options in transparency.
Yeah, I just
right
grabbed
now.
one. Grabbed one.
Very fun. So this one I've just cut out from the transparency sheet, so you can see it there. So it says it's transparent. And then I was thinking I will just paint the back. I was actually going to just try to stamp it. Maybe I had seen that on a YouTube video, stamped with a script stamp in black and
That would
then
look
painted.
awesome.
Very cool. Yeah, very
That
cool.
would look really good.
Yeah. So, anyways, in this background, just created with sprays. And see, like I say, they hold their color against each other. So you can see the yellow spray on the blue. It didn't get lost in there. And
Yeah.
yeah, just pretty.
Yeah.
And this background is just sprayed one color. I sprayed it a couple times, letting it semi-dry in between so the colors could cool. So I'll do something with this, a little bit of collage paper. Yeah, so anyways. Oh, and then just I created some more backgrounds strictly by using the gloss sprays.
That's a sweet background.
Yeah, really like the colors. And then I wanted to stamp it with the perforated tag stamp. And then I can trim these out and just use the tags.
Yeah, but I think you don't even have to. If you just put like a hello across it, that looks so
oh,
cool.
you can do that. Nancy. See, ideas galore. All right, what do you want to show us next?
I want to show you that leaf stencil technique that
Yes.
I was talking about.
Please do.
So, just give me 30 seconds to find what I need. Because I kept piling things up, so. Okay. So what I would be looking for to do this technique, so this is the tropical masks and stencils. So people ask, what's the difference between a mask and a stencil? A mask is going to stop whatever ink you're applying from going onto the page, so something like these feathers and leaves, whereas a stencil is going to allow it through. So it's kind of, this is your positive image and this is your negative image. That's kind of how I look at that. So this is also a Dina Wakley. But basically what I'd be looking for is any of her like mask and stencils. Here's a couple more. I'm just gonna pop the masks to the side. But like that one, tell I've loved it.
Well loved.
Well loved. And then these ones. So you might start recognizing them because they actually showed up. This is C. That's what I was talking about before. So the technique I'm going to show you is how to turn these into a dimensional element that you can use on your page. Okay. So I'm just going to use that one. These to the side. And then what I need is, so I would pick some of your gel backgrounds, or if you blended some backgrounds and you're like, yeah, I'm not sure they're my favorite, or maybe they are your favorite, it doesn't really matter, but you just need something that has color already on it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to work from the back. So I'm sure there's going to be questions and I'm ready to answer, but bear with me for a second. I'm just going to show you. This is not Dina. Oh my gosh.
So Nancy, if you didn't have gel backgrounds, you could just use printed paper. Like
Absolutely just use printed paper. Sorry, I'm going to use this one. My apologies, friends. I got my stamps mixed up. Okay, so I'm just going to grab a blender brush. Any blender brush will do, blending, foams, whatever. I'm just trying to get color down. Secondly, I'm just going to grab any ink. I don't need to have VersaFine. All this is just yeah.
I.e. any paper, any printed paper,
right?
Anything you can just kind of build upon.
Right?
Yeah. Awesome.
Okay, so I'm just going to take my blender brush and just get some ink. And I'm not even looking to make a nice blend. I just want to get the color down so I know where the outline is.
Okay, so that's the purpose.
That's it. So that's the technique, okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fussy cut that out.
Gonna give me some to fussy cut. Sure. Oh, looky there. How precise do you like them?
They don't have, this doesn't have to be precise at all. Well, more than this, but anyway. So the idea is now I have this template that I can follow to cut. So now what I think might happen is somebody's going to say, well, why didn't you just take the stencil and put it down and trace it? Two reasons. One is I think this is way faster.
Okay.
Secondly, now I don't have to deal with erasing pencil marks. If I want to make a pen mark and have an outline, that's cool, but if I want it to be outline free, this is how to get around it.
Very smart.
Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut this out.
That's thick paper, Nancy.
Yeah, it's a problem with my gel presses, backgrounds and stuff. I'm not sure what paper I've used. I have daytimer pages, I've even thrown old resume paper in there. And
Oh, you can use anything, right? You're just creating on top of it.
Yeah.
Just a base. So I hope while we're fussy cutting, you're looking at the demo deal online.
That's right, because you're going to
Do
want
some shopping on there.
Dina.
Yeah. Add to your collection.
So yeah, so basically I'm just using my stencil, extending my use of my stencils to create cutout ephemera for future use. And like I said, this does not have to be fussy because once I turn this around, you can tell that's a flower. You don't need, I don't need to have that.
It doesn't need to be
Nobody
super
knows
precise.
that this one, it doesn't look exactly like that. Okay, so sometimes I find the next thing that I want to do is I'll grab a gel pen and I'll just add some doodles to it. So just kind of
So the gel pens and the Posca pens, those would be
Either
great
way,
to have
yeah.
for.
So there you go. And then I might kind of do the stem a little bit, definitely a little. I actually quite often will go back and forth, do black and white.
Oh, good idea.
So I've already got white down, so maybe I want to circle the tops. And I do it kind of loose like Dina. Loose like Dina style.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then like that. And then the final thing that I might do to this to make sure it's ready for my page is, I find when you put it down on a page, you might discover that it loses dimension, like it just kind of flattens out on the page. So I didn't want an outline, but I might want to just do a slight little bit of edge inking. Yeah, just a smidgen. I don't need a ton, just to kind of help it pop. And then I've got some flowers for my page.
Very cool.
Yeah, so that's what I've been loving Dina for. So she has lots of different
Custom ephemera.
custom ephemera. Yes. There's lots of different opportunities to do that. But the thing too is you know, if you have, I mean, you could stamp on the back.
Yeah.
If you don't necessarily want the outline, but you like the shape of a stamp, you can always stamp that on the back. There's just kind of, it's just another way to look at your stuff.
Color and layers.
Color and layers.
Do you have any questions while we're at it here? We have all the things in front of us. If we can see your comments. Hello, everybody.
Thank you very much. How I'm doing? I am doing well. I'm doing very well. Recovering nicely. Thank you for asking.
She missed us, and she's glad to be back.
100%.
Right?
Yeah. I come back just in time for the store to close.
Yeah, right. Don't forget, everybody, we are closed. The brick and mortar is closed next week, but the online store never closes.
Right? So you can get your hit, no problem. Oh, is that what I meant?
Yeah.
See?
Cool. Yeah.
So yeah, so fun. So I kind of have my eye out all the time for
Well, yeah, what a
leaves
great-
and flowers, just to be able to make stuff like this for my journal.
Yeah, it's not just for building on direct to your background. It's
Right, and
actually
everybody
creating
has,
pieces
like-
using them.
As soon as you start playing with your gel press or you're collecting collections of paper,
Yeah.
there's always one or two that kind of straggle behind and you don't know how to use them. Well, there you go, another way.
Super fun.
Right?
All right. Is that it? We've showed off your beautiful art journals, some pretty samples. Yeah. Loving all things Dina. Don't forget, 33% off Dina Wakley products today and tomorrow for the Dynamic Duo Demo Deal.
Ooh, I got it. Julia gets through that. Dynamic
Duo Demo Deal. So we will not be here next week because the store is closed. We will be back the following Wednesday.
We already know what we're doing. Would you believe it?
We do. What are we doing again?
Layering stencils.
Layering stencils. That was just decided yesterday, right? I've already
Yeah,
forgotten.
yeah.
Excellent, good. And I think in the same time during the demo, I would like to talk a little bit about ink blending a background too. I had some questions yesterday during my Embossing 101 class. And because that's a great way to build a background to use your layering stencils upon. So I'm going to demo how to get a nice ombre
A nice
effect.
ombre blend.
Yeah,
I think that's gonna be
blended
incredible.
background as well.
That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a full one. I think you're gonna love the ink you get there. I think you should definitely check us out.
Of course. Or catch us on the replay.
You betcha. Take care, everyone.
Bye.